Well, hello, my gems. You're probably wondering, why do I look like this? It's because this is my look of shame. I didn't have a cap or anything. This is the lampshade. And this is my look of shame because I am an idiot. I'm an idiot because I am doing a 2020 my favorites video for a viewer's request. And it was like a 2-hour long video, and I was like, I am such a dunce. I'm such an idiot. I deserve to look like an idiot wearing this lampshade as my look of shame. So everybody can be laughing at me and throwing tomatoes at me if I was ever on stage. But okay, so this is future Stephanie, future Glitzy Gem from, you know, before you get into this video. I had did a video. It was a 2-hour long video. I didn't realize it was going to take me that long, but I was such an idiot because I wanted to be fun in these videos. I wanted this video to be fun, not in these videos, because I have to say, I say these videos because that 2-hour video turned into 4-part video. And I was thinking, like, this is my first time doing a, not my first time doing best and worst, but my first time doing a huge collection of my favorite, you know, makeup. So, and in this case, it was a huge collection of makeup. And you'll see it in my first part. In this video, you'll see the collection of makeup that were my favorites of 2020. So, yes, you'll be receiving an introduction after this. But I just want to let you know that this is going to be a 4-part video, and each part I will remind you that it'll start off where I had cut off the portion of the video where I cut it short, and then I started on with the next part with another introduction to introduce you to the next part video. So yes, my gems, I'm such a dunce. I deserve to look like this shameful looking ridiculous person right now. What do I look like? Cat in the Hat? I don't know. You leave your comments down below. But without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let you move on with this video. So this first part video is gonna be talking about primers, foundations, color correctors, concealers, contours, bronzers, and setting powders. So so this video is going to be consistent of those favorites. All right, so let me let you enjoy the video. Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Glitzy Gem. How's everybody doing today? I hope all are well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking on my video. If you can please subscribe if you haven't done so, and also click that bell notification. That way you can get more notifications when I upload another video, and also give my video a thumbs up because it helps out my channel. So in today's video, I know I don't have any makeup on, but I have something going on today. It's not a get ready with me, but what this is another viewer's request by Faiza Riyadi. Yeah, she was one of my giveaway winners, and yeah, she's been my subscriber ever since. And thank you so much, Faiza, for staying subscribed. I really do appreciate that. So shout out to you. Shout out to you, Faiza. And this video is going to be dedicated to you because in one of your comments you mentioned that you wanted to see my worst and my best of 2020, which I'm about to do. But before I do, I want y'all to see what I'm going to be working with today, okay? So just give me a second so I can get you at an angle so y'all can see what I'll be working with today, okay, for 2020. It is a lot, all right? So just don't change that channel. Just hold on for a second. And voila. Look what you're seeing in front of you, guys. This is my whole collection of 2020, if I can even see that. I have eyeshadow palettes here, and I have some more eye products here. You can't see it from this angle. Ooh, they're falling apart. They're falling. They're falling. I had them in order from how I wanted it to go. But here's everything we are going. This is my collection, guys. This is everything, okay? So let me get you back up. Give me a second. The 4 primers that I'm going to use, that I've been using throughout the year, well, I have more primers, but these were the only 4 primers that were my that I would use on a regular basis. But out of these 4, I got to say these 2, well, this is like a moisturizer, so I'm gonna single that out. So that's one. I'm not gonna put that on today. And so my first favorite one is this one here, the Dr. Brandt, because it just gave me a nice coating. It felt like cream on my skin, almost like it just kind of like it didn't like mattify my skin or anything. My skin looks a little dewy right now because I just got through doing my face regimen, and my face just looks, I can feel like a little oiliness in my area, and I know this works well with oily and dry skin. So I think I'm going to use this as my face primer. So this is my first one. This is my second best primer, which is the mattifying primer from First Aid Beauty. And then we have the hydrating primer. This is, don't get me wrong, this is my top 3. This is like, yeah, the top 3 of these, you know, that I would wear. I think these two kind of go like head to head. Yeah, I'm gonna say that these go head to head. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this primer on because I'm gonna put makeup on because I don't feel appealing just coming on camera like this, not looking prettied up or anything. But I had a thing in mind. I was like, why not show them my best products of the year while I put on my top products on my face, or just not really, no kind of not my first top fave products, because when it comes to eyeshadows, I'm gonna use a different palette. I'm not gonna use, it's just, there's no kind of like rhythm with this or anything. It's just more so that is my top primer here by Dr. Brandt. It does have a scent to it, like a elderly lady scent, or what would you call it, like botanical scent or something like that, but it's okay. So I'm putting that on. So those are my primers. The next thing would be my foundations. So the only foundation that I really liked, that I have in front of me for 2020 that were passes for me was my e.l.f. foundation in the shade Pearl. I felt like this gave me really good coverage, gave me a flawless finish. I love the shade, even though it's just a little tad bit lighter than my skin tone. I love the way it performed. So the next one I have is the Peter Thomas. This is not a foundation, but it's the Peter Thomas Roth Skin to Die For Mineral Matte CC Cream Anti-Aging Complexion Corrector and Moisturizer with Vitamin C. So this is my go-to foundation. Well, not go-to, but the top foundation from 2020 that I liked. Well, this is not the only one. I had my Maracuja, Tarte Maracuja. Where did they go? Here they go. Because they're so small, they kind of like faded away. So my Maracuja, I got the little samples from Ipsy because I am a Ipsy subscriber. And these worked really, I love the way these performed as well. So I like the way this one performed a lot, being a CC cream, and this is a moisturizing tinted moisturizer. So I'm not going to put that on. I put that like second on the list compared next to this one. This one is like my first, second, and this would be like my third. So I'm going to put this foundation on my skin. But before I do put this foundation on, I see my mind goes everywhere because I have all this stuff in front of me. The color correctors. Okay, color correctors for what I would put underneath my eyes. That I just started doing is these two items here. I put these two items they work well together. This is my Jekka Black liquid corrector 2.0, and it is a peach tone. It is the tone that's on this box right here. So I have my shade 3 medium light Milani. It's called Retouch Erase Lightening Concealer. It's a concealer, but I also use it under my eyes because they just work. They just work well together. So let's go ahead and put this on. So these are my two top favorites for 2020 for under the eye for color correcting. So I'm going to do that. Put some of that on. And this is a real sheer formula on this color corrector, even though it is like peach toned. See? Just put just that much under the eye. And then also these two, I noticed that it helps minimize a little bit of my wrinkles underneath my eyes when I do put on my foundation and setting powders. So I'm going to do that. Then what I do next is I go in with my Milani Retouch Erase light lifting concealer. It has a little sponge. You squeeze some of the product out like this much. You can see that. This much. And I just start going underneath the eye. Before I put on my foundation, I put it underneath the eye. Like all over, you know. I don't know, maybe this is just an extra step that I do that I probably shouldn't do. But I just noticed that it helps me out, you know, with brightening under my eyes, and it just kind of helps my foundation set in place, and just kind of, like I said, it helps me with covering up a lot of my under eye wrinkles. So that's what I'm doing now. And I'm doing this pretty quick, so my makeup is not going to come out 100%, okay? Because, come on, this video is going to take forever if I try to get it 100%. So, and I just smooth it out with my ring finger because it gives you the lightest pressure. Okay? Smooth it out. And it gives me the illusion of hiding my wrinkles. Of having less wrinkles under my eyes, really. It just gives me that illusion. So there it is, put on. It looks more brightening, don't it? Okay, so the next thing I would put on is my foundation. So, like I said, this was my top foundation for the year 2020, which is my Peter Roth CC cream. And it's not a foundation, but this was my best one out of all the foundations that I have in my collection for 2020 that I've used for 2020. I have other foundations that I have not used yet, but I will be using for 2021. So stay tuned for those videos as well. So let's put this on. Okay, so I'll put this on the back of my hand. You can see. This is the shade Light. And it matches my skin perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab my damp sponge. Well, first, you know what? Let me use my brush because the damp sponge kind of just soaks up a lot of that product. So I'm gonna use a brush. So here's my flat kabuki brush. This is one of my favorite flat kabuki brushes. So I guess you can put that as one of my favorites for 2020. This Royal Affairs flat kabuki brush to apply my foundation. Y'all see me use this, and it's not because it's the only brush that I have for 2020, but it's the only brush that I had been using for 2020. I just didn't feel the need to keep using you know, keep opening up new brush sets, you know, when I don't really need to. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if I already have a good brush set and it's good, still working for me, I'm gonna keep continue using it. So yeah, so I'm gonna do this pretty quickly. It's not gonna be perfect. I don't want it to be. I mean, I don't need it to be perfect. I'm just showing you guys. I just want to have some kind of makeup on. But even when I'm applying this pretty quickly, I guess you can call this like a challenge, right? How fast you can put on your makeup challenge. But yeah, so here it is on my skin, and I love the way this applies. It gives me coverage. For CC cream, it gives you really good coverage for CC cream. Yes, and I love this shade because it just matches my skin tone. Like, there's other lighter. There's like others foundations that say they're light, and like my e.l.f. one was very light, and you can see how light that is. So I'm gonna go ahead and share it out with my blending sponge. Share it out. Just kind of get some of that texture off from the foundation. Sometimes you get like little texture. If you don't smooth it out enough, it'll like look like you have like little beads on your face, like little foundation beads, and you don't want that. You want it to be smooth. You just want it to be smooth like a baby's bottom. All right, so here we go. I'm done doing that, and it didn't even take that much effort to do. It covered everything I needed to cover. Now the next thing I want to do is contouring. So, well, concealers. Okay, so I have several concealers this year that I really enjoyed using a lot. Okay, so, well, I'll tell you in a minute. Not a lot. Okay, so first of all, I have my Hard Candy Glamifage concealer here, and it's in a very light shade. I can probably use this as a liquid highlighter for whenever I contour my face. So I'm gonna keep this to the side. But that's not my number one favorite concealer. My number one favorite concealer, what I would have to say would be this Photo Focus, because this Photo Focus, and yeah, this Photo Focus would be like, from Wet n Wild, would be like my first favorite from 2020. This is also a good one, you know, but like I said, it's a lighter shade, so it's good for like highlighting your skin, you know, before putting on the rest of your makeup. Then I have this e.l.f. Flawless Concealer. I have not used this. This is another shade, a light shade that you can use to do for your highlight. I think I might just use this for my highlight for my face. I'm gonna set this aside. So this would be like my, well, this would be like, yeah, like my second best concealer for highlighting the face because of the skin tone, and it does give you really good coverage. These two give you really good coverage. And so, but this is my favorite go-to for cut creases. So this is what I would use for a cut crease if I need to do a cut crease. Now the other foundations that I have this color stick. This is really well for like an eyeshadow primer. If you want to use like some people, you know, of course the eyeshadow primer, you should wear an eyeshadow primer, but if you don't have one handy and you just have this in hand, I'd use this for that. Or even like to cover up little blemishes that are like really dark, like for instance this blemish right here, like this really dark blemish. If I would have put this on, it would have covered it up. So that's one of my favorite ones. This is my Wet n Wild Coverall cover stick, and it's a really good price, so I'd wear that as well. And then now I have my BH Cosmetics, which is the, you know, so this is the order that I consider, you know, like from best to, like, they're all good, but like, you know, my number one to like my to the least, you know, of my favorites. So this is my 100 concealer, 100. I can use this for under the eyes, so I'm going to use this as a concealer for using it now for under the eyes. So all these have their purpose, and this one I would also use as a either a cut crease concealer. Well, not really, no, because this one oxidizes. This is my Dose of Colors Meet Your Hue concealer in the light medium shade. This is my shade, but it oxidizes. It turns almost like a yellow. It gets darker on my skin. That's what I'm trying to say. So it oxidizes. So this is one of my least favorite ones, but it's one of the ones that I would still go to and use. So, but this is not what I'm going to use today because, yeah, I do not want to get that. I mean, I would apply it if I'm going to do a full face tutorial on Dose of Colors. So stay tuned for those videos as well. So I'm going to go ahead and conceal my face with this concealer from BH Cosmetics, Pro Studio BH Cosmetics Total Coverage Concealer in the shade 100. And I will go ahead and just, whoa, that was a lot. I'm just going to put a little dab here, little dab here, little dab here, and here. And I don't know, maybe it would cover this up. We'll just see. I have three. I have one here on my left side. I guess it covered up with the foundation, and I had another one here. Oh, here it is right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and conceal that as well. I should have put some of that corrector on these pimples, and they're actually allergic reaction pimples. They're actually, you know, pimples I got from my allergic reaction. I'm getting from a mask I've been wearing that I've been documenting a little video on that I will be sharing with my viewers. So let's get rid of this. All right, and use a little brush. Get it together, girl. So I'm just gonna tap around the areas I want that concealer to hide, my blemishes that I have on my skin, and then really around my eye, just to kind of like, you know, add more onto my wrinkles so that they would not show on my skin, you know, just to hide these wrinkles, you know, get them in those little crevices but not crease. So yeah, another favorite of mine that I didn't get to put in here, but it should have been in this, is my Tarte Shape tape. Why didn't I think of my Tarte Shape tape? This was my Tarte Shape tape would be the one I would be doing this with. So my sharp, why do I keep saying sharp? My Tarte Shape tape would be my first famous would it be my first go-to. But since I don't have it in front of me because I forgot, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot for not being prepared, because I did this all last night and it was late and I was like, oh, no. So I just got everything. I wrote everything down too, and I you know, of everything that I was going to go ahead and, you know, do this video with. And I just totally forgot about that that Tarte Shape tape. I'm like, how could I forget that? That was a staple. That was a staple in my regimen. You know, for under the eyes. But now I'm selling with BH Cosmetics, which is not that bad. I mean, as far as the wear goes, I like the Tarte Shape tape. But I'll do with the BH Cosmetics one, because this BH Cosmetics one is not that bad either. It's just the Dose of Colors one now. That one just oxidizes on your skin, and I don't want any oxidization on my skin. Just want it to look nice and smooth, nice and flawless. Okay, now the next thing I would put on was my contours. So I'll show you what my favorite contours are. So I'm just going to use my ring finger and just kind of tap these little inner corners in with the concealer, because it looks like it's lifting. And the Tarte Shade Tape never did that, but, well, it did, but it was more smoother, a lot smoother. I don't know. Sometimes they work, sometimes it works, and sometimes, I don't know, maybe just the way you apply it just kind of didn't. But there you go. Much better for me. It even looks like I brightened under my eyes with the concealers and the corrector. So this is what I do to brighten up under my skin and give me that illusion of not having any wrinkles on my skin. If I turn off the light now, so you can see in true light what my skin looks like now with the foundation on. This is in true light, so you can see how my face is looking. I do have, you know, bumps on my skin, you know, wrinkles, but underneath the eyes it looks a little more smoother. But this is how it looks like in true lighting. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So now, yeah, that's kind of bright. Let me lighten it up. Okay, so on with the next thing. So we're done with the concealers, my top concealers for 2020. Cream contour kit in the shade medium by Sleek Makeup. This is my first time using it this year, but this is the only cream contour palette that I have. I don't have any other cream contour palettes right now, so I would say this would be one of, it's not the best, but it'll do. It will do. So I'm going to go ahead and use this middle shade here. This one I felt like would be closest to my skin tone. So I just go along my perimeters of the face, put on my highlighter. Okay, so maybe this is not the right way of doing this, but I like to go on my forehead, highlight my forehead, down my nose. I need this for 2021. I want to perfect my contouring and my highlighting and contouring. I want to perfect that. What else? This is my highlighting portion, because that was the first thing I was supposed to do first, was the highlighting with my concealer. So go ahead and do that, and I'm going to go ahead and just use my blending sponge to blend this out. It's blended out. Your highlight is blended out, your cream highlight. Okay, so now I'm going on with my cream contour. Of course, I want to contour right here to chisel my cheeks, my cheek area, to give it that chisel. And then in my nose area as well, just to give it that little small button nose type. And just a little bit here and here. Applied it on. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with my blending sponge. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and blend this out with my blending sponge. So another contour of mine is this one here, which is my Kenya Ontiveros that I got from one of my BoxyCharms. She has very good contour shades in here, which I will use a contour brush. I guess I can use this one, right? So let me go ahead and go in with my contour, which is this shade here. So this is one, like, these are all my favorites for this year of 2020. So, and not only that, because, you know, these are probably the only products I've used this year, and that's the reason why I call them not my best. They may not, there's probably better out there, better contour palettes, which we will be I will be keeping you in the loop of that, because I'll be doing videos on like contour. Oh, contouring takes forever. It takes me forever to do. Like everything else was just fine. Oh, I gotta have these, you know, these staples in my beauty regimen, my beauty routine. So that's the reason why I have so much favorites. So many favorites. I know it's probably better out there, but for now this is what I have because this is all I had throughout the year. And I'm just gonna go ahead and smooth this out. Smooth this out. So this has been the longest. Contouring for me is like the longest process. So I might just have to cut off some of this contouring. Edit out some of the application is contouring. So now I'm going to smooth it out as well. Just to smooth it out. Okay, so now everything's smoothed out to my liking. Okay, so there goes my face contoured, okay? So y'all can see how my contour looks. Okay, now moving on. And so this is the only bronzer that I have in my collection, which is the Milani bronzer for 2020. Not one of my favorites, but it's one of the only one that I have. So I really can't judge it. I can judge it, you know, by the way it performs, but to be honest, it just doesn't give me the pick. I mean, it gives you pigment, but it's not, I don't know, it's not one of my favorite. You know, just the powder just feels like it's really, I love the way it smells. It smells like coconut. But the powder itself, it just doesn't pick up a lot on the brush. The powder doesn't pick up too much on the brush, so I'm just, I feel like I'm not getting enough. Like I have to keep going back and forth to keep bronzing and bronzing. I don't like that. I don't want to have to keep back and forth. You see now I'm more bronzed. And there was my skin routine for bronzing. I think I got the hardest part out. So now the next two favorite ones are my Master Fix Maybelline New York. If you really want a really good drying setting powder, because that's what they do. If you want a really dry area on your skin, this is my go-to. If you want it to be really dry, if you have areas that are very oily and you want to set your face and you want it to be crackly, dry, because it does put creases underneath my eyes. So I would really use like very minimal of this product underneath my eye if you have wrinkles or yeah, if you have wrinkles under your eyes. And then the next one is my BH Cosmetics translucent powder as well. It also kind of gives me this, it's kind of like these two are like back to back with each other, but this one is like very over drying. It does over dry your face. So I'm only gonna pat areas where I just feel like I probably need, you know, so okay, that's enough for me on that. And what I would do is I would just smooth it out. Just smooth it out. I still have product on the brush from whatever I put on my face with it. And I feel like this is really like, it's not finely milled, but it's more of like, it's just your average setting powder, which is, you know, not finely milled, but just one that you would just put on just to kind of set your face. So hopefully I won't be oily throughout the day. You can always pat some on if you do get oily throughout the day, because you get oils, you know, throughout the day that seep through your skin. So you might want to keep that handy. So those are my translucent powders. My two go-to, my favorite ones for 2020. Alright, my gems, so that was the cutoff portion of my video for my favorites so far in those categories I mentioned in my video. So stay tuned for my next part 2. So I'll see you here soon. Bye.